Hello, Rabbi. Good morning, but it's not a very good morning, is it?
No, Joe. We had a massacre on Bondi Beach in Australia. 21 Jews were massacred while celebrating Hanukkah, and a student killed 3 people at Brown University. 2 more mass shootings, if you will. Very different motivations, but still hate, hate, hate. I'm listening to the news. I'm watching the news, and what came to mind was a letter, an epistle is what it's formally called, from St. Paul to the people living in Galatia. And it's called Galatians, it's the abbreviated, but the full title is St. Paul's letter to the inhabitants, to the people of Galatia, which is part of modern day Turkey, Ayatollah. But that's not what's important. What's important is what Paul wrote. And this is what all the translations are consistent. Do not be deceived, deluded, or misled. God will not allow himself to be snared. For whatever a person plants, that is what they will reap. Let's say that again. The same kind of crops will grow as the seeds which a person plants. That will be the harvest. That's what came to mind because we are promoting hate, not just in the United States, but all over the world. And we're watching the harvest of hate. And it's being carried further and further out. I want to point out Australia has the strictest gun laws in the known universe. However, these 3 or 4 individuals had guns and massacred 21, maybe 22, maybe 25 people from a bridge, shooting fish in a barrel. Strict gun laws, let me repeat that, strict gun laws are not going to prevent mass shootings and killings. Not at Brown, not in the United States, not anywhere in the known universe. We need reasonable gun control. That's a given. But we mustn't fall into the trap of blaming or discussing guns because St. Paul was spot on when he said, whatever you plant, that's going to be your harvest. Here in the United States, we have mainstreamed hate. It's gone so far as one of our political parties wants to rename an intersection here in D.C. after a podcaster who became famous by promoting hate and telling we should kill people, we should export them, we should get rid of them. It's not about free speech. You can have a podcast, say what you want, but it's up to both our political parties not to promote the person, not to promote hate, and it's up to our clergy as well. You know, it's too easy, Joe, to get a following by blaming them or by saying we have to get rid of them or the Jews did this or the Israelis did that. We have to wipe them out. We have to stop that. That's what people are sowing. We've been
Well,
sowing hate for many years, Joe.
and the problem seems to me, in my limited understanding, is that you can regulate. Well, we have a society of free speech is welcome and supposed to be guarded, and yet people take advantage of that. I'm not saying get rid of free speech, but the only thing that you can regulate when people look at these situations is gun control because they think that's the only thing that we can legally question or regulate because we can't say, well, you all have to be Catholic now and learn to turn the other cheek like Jesus taught. But where are we going to go with all this? How do you convince
No,
people to pay attention?
no, Joe, you're misguided. You know, the easy solution is to go after gun control. It's up to our politicians not to name intersections after hate. It's up to our clergy not to blame Jews. It's up to individuals who are influencers. It's up to people that have a pulpit. It's up to the President of the United States. He's not standing up to hate. He's actually promoting it. He's actually blaming them or this group or that group. The answer is there, Joe. We're not talking about legality. We're not talking about banning free speech. We're not talking about anything but what Paul was talking about, taking responsibility. Don't be fooled. You cannot fool God. A person will get back whatever they plant. And we have been planting hate. It's one thing, an individual, someone says it at a party, but it's individuals who have people's attention, who have the public forum, who have podcasts, who are on television, who have a whole TV network, news network. It's up to them to look at their teaching. But, you don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to be Christian. Paul was spot on. He was spot on when he said, don't be deceived. You're going to harvest, and we are harvesting. We're harvesting killing and mass annihilation.
Well, and even the church back in the 1600s was going after in the Spanish Inquisition. So there's no one organization or group that you can name that didn't at one point or another be preaching the wrong doctrine or guiding their flocks to an attitude of we shouldn't hate anybody. We should be peaceful all around. But again, people have been saying for decades, if not centuries, war is not the answer. Peace is better, and hatred is not going to do any good. And it still hasn't caught on.
Joe, no, that's absolutely off base. I'm not talking about promoting love, hugging trees, eating s'mores, and singing Kumbaya. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is not promoting the people that promote hate. The haters are out there, and they're going to talk. I'm not promoting anything other than it's up to those who have the pulpit, like myself, those who are in a position to say, don't promote it. Don't name an intersection after a hater. Don't use your bully pulpit as a president to blame them and promote hate. I'm not talking about what you're talking about. I'm not a big fan of eating s'mores, hugging trees, and singing Kumbaya. What I want to promote is standing up to and not allowing this hate, because we're now reaping the harvest, and it's just going to continue to get worse.
Well, I can't argue with that point, Rabbi. I'm just not sure what's going to turn it around. It seems like we're making progress one day, and the next day something like this happens. But I know if we all pay attention to people, spiritual leaders, political leaders who try to promote unification and condemn hatred, we're going to all eventually see that things will start to improve. And we should all start with you. Hit subscribe. And thank you as always for your wisdom.
For those watching and those listening, we want to put pressure on our clergy, on our politicians, on our President of the United States, not to support and promote hate, not to ban free speech, not to stop anything, not even to promote love and anything else, but just to stop promoting and elevating hate. Because as St. Paul put it so elegantly, whatever you plant, you're going to harvest.